and you're still with us on Arise 360 live in Cannes. Drew, it feels amazing to say that. Notice how I say that every time.
Can you let me know when things are about to go live while I'm just in my bubble enjoying Cannes?
Thank you. She agrees with me. Drew, it's great to have you on the show in Cannes. But really though, it's been a day, hasn't it? We've had so many different conversations, and what excites me is the different pockets from which we pick these conversations. There's so much diversity at Cannes this year, and we can tell from the interviews we've done, right?
Yeah, I mean, because it's kind of what makes Cannes so unique, because when you go to any of the film festivals, they endeavor to kind of marry the entertainment and the business side of things, but then every festival has its own identity. But with Cannes, what they try to do is broaden who they are recognizing, because they know there are certain big names, there are new up-and-comers, there's foreign cinema, there's cinema that's never been seen before, so they try to embrace everything. So the main competition, the Palme d'Or. Then you have Un Certain Regard, which is where you look for films that they may not have been chosen for the Palme d'Or, you need to watch this. This is another competition, and that's where you spoke to Baloji.
Yes.
And from the film you saw, that's a film you would say, I don't know, but you should watch it.
I know. I said the exact same thing to you. Watching Omen, at first I was like, what is this? I mean, really, I literally said, what is this? Because the first 15 minutes of the film, you're literally confused. Yeah. But as it goes into the, say, the first 50 minutes, the first 1 hour, 20 minutes, you start to realize, my goodness, I feel like I can live this story. So I agree with you on that.
So those are what all of those films are like. And then when you have Le Cinef, you've interviewed someone from that section
yes,
as well.
That's
Musa Alderson Clarke.
Alderson Clarke, yes.
With Killing Boris Johnson.
Yes.
What they're finding, because the UK has struggled to get into that section. So he's very chill. You see him as alternative. But he's done something so evocative, so provocative, that you cannot not recognize that. And if Cannes wants to live beyond just now, which is like, we have this conversation about the Grammys, we have this conversation about the Oscars. Why Cannes will always continue is they are here to identify where the future lies for filmmaking. Yeah. And that's what Le Cinef represents. They have their own juries, they have their own award ceremony. So when you come to Cannes, they feel like, oh yeah, I've really had the Cannes experience. So one day when Musa Alderson Clarke is Ken Loach, you're like, I'm an old hat.
Yes. But for being fair to other film festivals, Drew, we've seen the Berlinale do something very similar in the sense that they are known for diversity. They did gender equality before Cannes did it. Yeah. So there must be something more that just makes Cannes. Because on the hierarchy of film festivals, yes, Venice is fantastic. Tribeca is great, but Cannes Film Festival is Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah. It's one, it's legacy. It's two, all the amazing filmmakers that have come here and gone on to greatness, and credit being here to giving them an understanding of just the magic and beauty and the mechanics of film. And because Cannes is a festival that it really respects the auteur films.
Yes.
Films that I don't care about artifice, I don't care about sensationalism. I just want you to tell me a brilliant story, exhibit your dexterity of art, and this is where you belong. When you go to Sundance, they love the coming of age stories. When you go to Tribeca, something edgy. When you go to Toronto, it's more, come and have fun, we will love you all. It's very Canadian. Venice, it's kind of, they like provocative, they like sexy. It's like everyone has their identity. Cannes is the one that sets the benchmark, because they are the original ones that said a filmmaker is not just a filmmaker, they're an artist. And if you come here, we can propel you to the next level. So you don't need any mechanisms behind you. Be a great artist.
Absolutely.
And this is your playing ground.
And just, to add credence to what you've just said, movies like Benel de Adama, a debut, that's literally something that a lot of people would say Cannes is breaking their own rules. Movies like Musa Alderson Clarke's film Killing Boris Johnson, which we had an interview about, explosive one. That movie is already generating so much controversy around,
In the UK, he just look at it. He posts all the negative.
I know,
he gets,
and he laughs. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying you get in Cannes, is that they will find it's beyond just the film, it's the filmmaker, it's their character. Like, think about someone like Ken Loach. He's not big in Hollywood. He doesn't want to be. Wim Wenders, he doesn't want to be, because what they are is what Cannes celebrates, and that's why people love it, because if you're celebrated in Cannes, you're a great filmmaker.
Now, let's talk about Sam Levinson and his possibility of being more than celebrated. I mean, he's coming off the back of Euphoria, which did really, really good. I'm shocked at how well Euphoria did. Yeah. Now, he's coming up, but he's not coming alone. He's coming with The Weeknd.
Yeah.
And this, everyone you think The Weeknd, you think music.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was on the carpet, and the reason we only had like 3 interviews was because I struggled to find people who wanted to see other people apart from The Weeknd. And I didn't just want it to be everybody's on The Weeknd. You know, oh, The Weeknd, Abel, The Weeknd, this is my favorite song, people singing and all of that. I'm just like, well, I mean, I could barely even get close enough. I had to go because I'm just like, you know what, I'm over this. It's not that deep, you know? Yeah. This is a very interesting pair, but I'm also worried that Sam Levinson might be delving into murky waters with this story.
Yes and no, because Sam Levinson, when you look at Euphoria, he did pretty much the same thing, but a different iteration of it with Zendaya.
Yes.
Zendaya was the Greatest Showman. She had done Dancing with the Stars.
Disney.
She was Disney. Zendaya was at a point where I need people to see me differently. And think about all the backlash she got. She had same-sex couples, transgenderism, drugs, alcohol, everything. I was like, this is not Zendaya. But you need someone who's at the same point in their career. Sam Levinson is making his name now.
Yeah.
So they bisect in the perfect way. Abel is changing what everyone knows him for, and you've been very successful at
Incredibly.
it. You need somebody who's also risk-taking to make their name, and hopefully when you bisect, you make a new name for yourselves together. So this is basically Abel's Euphoria. But it's movies as opposed to TV
I really hope
series.
it does well, because I mean it's tricky, this one. It's going to be very difficult for, it's even weird calling him Abel, for The Weeknd to separate himself from The Weeknd. So we have The Weeknd and we have Abel. But what I also found interesting was the fact that this is a year for the Depps. This is a year, is a Depp family affair, from Johnny Depp to now Lily Rose Depp, and they're both incredibly loved here.
Listen, they are okay. Johnny Depp is like a Francophile.
Yeah.
Lily Rose Depp is half French. So, I mean, if you saw The King, she fluent French, gorgeous accent. So she just happens to straddle two things in a very amazing way. And if you know her mother, Vanessa Paradis, she is beloved. She was like a French rose, model turned actress. She's quintessentially naturally beautiful. She's everything French. So they love that they've got one of their own making it big in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And she's got star power. But it's an interesting one that they've both come here with. Johnny Depp has come here with controversy.
Yeah.
Lily Rose Depp has come with a controversial project. But neither of them went to each other's premiere.
Which is weird, don't you think?
Because they understand, like, you've got to chart your own course on your own.
Ah, come on. It's the
You've never
can.
seen Clint Eastwood at a Scott Eastwood premiere.
True.
You never saw go to Charlie Sheen's premieres because we knew Michael Douglas was honoured.
Yeah.
He talked about, when it's got...
Yes.
Say hello to the Ferraris.
Yes.
And the Jaguars.
Literally, the luxury cars of Cannes.
It's them. It's literally a Ferrari with its power engine.
Love
it's
it.
So Cannes right now. We
It
couldn't
is.
have timed it any better. But yeah, it's great to see that all of these legacy families under Jamie Lee Curtis winning an Oscar, they let your parents realize you've got to do this on your own. Otherwise, for the rest of your life, you'll be my child.
Exactly, and you continue to live in my shadow. Yeah. To wrap this up, Elemental is going to close up the Cannes Film Festival. I'm quite excited about this, but I'm also like, it is animation. Yeah. It is animation, Joe.
You know what? That's Cannes pushing forward. For the sake of
animation.
It was only in the past 5 years that they started doing the big blockbusters.
Yes.
Where they had Fast and the Furious, and they had Top Gun Maverick, and this time they've had, which was the big one, Martin Scorsese's film and Indiana Jones.
Yes.
They realized that it's a business at the end of the day.
It is.
Even though we love arty films, we've got to bring in the big money films and marry them together. We're not going to put you in the competition. You're not getting a palm d'or. We'll recognize you and we'll have a big...
But that's a really big way to recognize them. I mean, listen, when I saw that Elemental was closing, I just said, this screams showbiz. You know how at the end of the day you'd say, listen, these people still have to make their money. At the end of the day, no matter how true to the art they want to be. Because make it make sense. How do we go from all the glorious movies we've seen? But then again, I don't want to underestimate Elemental.
No, I want to tell you.
I don't want to underestimate it.
One word.
What?
Disney.
I know.
It's Disney.
They take over.
They take over everything.
They take over everything.
And you know what's going to happen? Disney's going to have a party. They're going to have a gala. They're going to throw the money at that. It's Disney Pixar Studios. It's animation. It's Disney doing Disney. Disney sits there thinking, oh, so everyone makes a fuss about Cannes? Oh. we're going to shut down Cannes.
And then they just take all the attention.
And they take the closing ceremony.
It's for me, it's intelligent, but I'm also like, at least people got their spot. People got their own spotlight, which is very important. They got to have press conferences and have everyone focus on them. You know what I just thought of? I mean, not to sound mean, but those press conferences where journalists are like, "Oh, we're not going in. We're waiting."
That never happened.
It did.
Everyone's keen to see every single press conference. We love everyone equally.
We love everyone equally. You know how I told you really have a terrible poker face? You're doing it now. But hey, Jude, thanks for joining me on Arise 360.